10 signs of an exalted Ketu, even if it's not in Sagittarius or Scorpio. So Ketu, as you know, is exalted in the sign of Sagittarius and Scorpio. Some say only Sagittarius, some say only Scorpio, but nonetheless, if you are confused, if your Ketu is exalted, debilitated, or in Multrikorn, or in any other sign, remember these are all about sign placements and not house. Anywhere in the horoscope, your Ketu could be in any sign, but if you have these 10 indications, then your Ketu is considerably exalted, if not totally. All right, and you should have at least 4 or 5 of these. 1, 2, or 3 is still fine, but if you have 5 at least or above, then certainly you are blessed. Okay. So in that case, your Ketu may not be exalted, but there are so many other indications in your chart which is helping your Ketu achieve its best potential. All right. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and for personalized consultations, you will find my website down below. God is there with you all the time. Just look to Him and you will find Him even if your Ketu is not exalted. All right. Number one and only one sign, and this surpasses every other sign, that is, you have a very strong spiritual awareness, which means you don't believe that matter is all that exists. You believe there is something beyond matter. There is spirit, there is Atma, as the Vedanta Sutra says. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, you want to do Brahma Jigyasa, which means you want to know about God. So you are doing spiritual practices diligently day in and day out. You are going to spiritual communities. You are understanding that the material world as it seems is not the ultimate reality. The ultimate reality is the reality of the spirit soul. As Krishna says in the Gita, that we are not this body, we are spirit soul, right? So therefore, if you have a very strong sense of spiritual identity, if you identify very strongly as a member of a spiritual community, you identify with your practices more, considerably more than your materialistic identities, then you are having a very strong Ketu, as I said, exalted or wherever, but your Ketu is very powerful and keep it up. Okay. Number 2, you have very strong psychic abilities and intuition. So if your Ketu is well placed, you will see that you can pick up things before. Okay, so you will kind of know it even before it happens. Okay, this is fantastic, and you will have very strong intuition, especially with people and with good or bad things in your life. So you will know. So suppose somebody has given you a news that a lady tells you that she's pregnant, you will be able to know if she will be able to deliver properly, or maybe she might unfortunately have a miscarriage. Okay, these are some examples. Okay, or if somebody tells you, oh, I'm going for this interview, you kind of understand, oh yeah, maybe the job is his already, or maybe he will not get the job. Okay, nonetheless. Number 3, you will be detached from materialistic things. Now, this does not mean that you are not at all attracted to matter, but it certainly means that your attraction is balanced with detachment. So this means you are like a yogi, which means, or you could say rather, you are like a perfect Nishkam Karam yogi. So you do your best with an attitude, with an expectation to get the best results, but you are not obsessed. Okay, so suppose you do something and you don't get the results, so it's fine, you are okay with it, and it's not life daunting for you. Okay, and you don't resort to violence, you don't resort to gossiping, you don't resort to like pulling down somebody who got what you wanted. Okay, so if this sounds like you, then your Ketu is extremely powerful, and you know when to draw the line. You are like, because you have intuition also, so okay, this much is fine for me. If I take more than this, it will be like not trying to bite more than you can chew. Okay, so you are detached from material desires. Okay. Number 4, you believe in very strong karmic resolution. Now, what is karmic resolution? So suppose somebody comes and does bad to you. Okay, so you just don't want to take revenge, or you just don't let it be. But what you certainly believe in is to resolve the karma, you try to think, why this person has done this to me. Maybe I must have done something to him or her in their previous lifetimes. So you kind of believe in nullifying everything. Okay. Of course, this does not mean you don't seek justice, but even if you seek justice, you will do it in a way that does not perpetuate further karma and does not, aggravate the person beyond a certain extent. Okay. So therefore, you know your limits and you want to get it to ground zero. Okay. You did something, I did something. Okay. Now let's balance it out. Okay. And in that case, you are also more forgiving, you are more tolerant. And yes, you can actually understand why somebody must have done something, their karmic patterns or, their behavioral patterns. You know that people have weaknesses. Number 5, ability to transform. You have a very strong ability to transform, okay? Now, this means you can bounce back from anything that happens in your life, okay? If life puts you down, and you bounce back, okay? You do everything that is required to come back to track, okay? Because see why this happens. It is not a Martian trait, okay, just to bounce back. That is more like just bouncing is more of a Martian or Mercurian trait. But with Ketu, what happens is you realize this downfall that I've had is just temporary. I have lived so many lifetimes, and I have had so many good things, so many problems. And this one, I failed in one exam, or this happened, that happened. It's like a speck of dust in the in the ocean of time. Okay, it's nothing basically. So you understand you are eternal, you are Satchitananda, beyond all this. So then you can bounce back. Okay, so and because of that you bounce back certainly. Okay. Number 6, you have very sharp analytical skills because Ketu can make you very strong in analyzing things. Okay. Now Ketu can also give you a very strong sixth sense where it's like, as I said, intuition is there, and there is, psychic ability. So along with that, you can also have very strong intellectual capacity. And along with this, in your date of birth, if you have the number 7, you like to do research and you like to know things. So one of the reasons why Ketu gives you very strong analytical ability is because you are very well read, you are very well researched. You like to know what is there in the background. Okay, if you know if you don't know what's there in the background, it does not excite you. Okay, and if you know, then you are very excited, either for the good or for the bad. Okay, so this is a very interesting thing. Number 7, just like materialistic things, you are also very much detached from relationships. Okay, as Kunti Devi says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? She says, "Oh Krishna, please sever my affection to the Vrishnis and to the Pandavas and to everybody." Okay, all the connections which she had, even though these personalities, like the Pandavas, the Vrishnis, they're very great personalities. They're like, most of them are like, or maybe everybody, in fact, Krishna's pure devotees. But she says this still. Okay, so you realize that everybody is here because of some karmic dealing, karmic baggage is there. Okay, so you do your best, but if somebody does not reciprocate, you don't feel bad. You don't lose your mind if somebody does not give you back what you gave them. Okay, and you understand, yes, everybody is selfish in the material world. Everybody has everybody can give you things, but not beyond a certain extent. So you are okay with it. It's not that you don't feel sad, but you don't get into depression. Okay, you are like, okay, you have backstabbed me. Fine, maybe I backstabbed you in some other lifetime. Okay, so you understand how material world works, and you understand it is not a wise man's proposal to be too attached. Okay, so better be detached, not only from materialistic things, objects, possessions, or positions, but also from human beings, okay, and relationships. So you do your best and you leave the rest to God. Number 8, you are very easily able to use your past life talents. Okay, so suppose you have some talent which you have not, you will have some talent which you know that it's not from this lifetime. I mean, I have not done anything to get this talent in this lifetime. Maybe I have done, but not so much. But how am I such an expert in this area of life? It could be anything: singing, dancing, cooking, or reading the scriptures, or astrology, or gymnastics. It does not matter. But you know that there is a past life connection, and you know why, why, why that is there in you. Your subtle body along with the soul has, carried all these things. Okay. So therefore, whenever you have a strong Ketu, you will realize that this talent that I'm carrying is it's like a part of God, which I have within myself, right? As Krishna says in the Gita, yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam srimad urjitame bhavan, right? He says, anything attractive that you see, Arjuna, is a spark of my splendor. He says this to Arjuna, right? In the Gita. So you realize that these talents are from your previous lifetimes, and ultimately they are from God. So you don't show ego, you don't show arrogance, because you know it's not mine and it might be taken off or taken away from me sometime, okay? Number 9, you are deeply interested in occult sciences and mysticism. So number 1, as I said, you are very much into spiritual practices, but you also want to know the secrets of the material realm. Not just the spiritual realm, but also the material realm. You want to know your karmas. You want to understand yourself. You want to understand people. You want to understand your behavior, everything. You are interested in astrology, numerology, vastu, palmistry, psychology, or whatever you can name it. It's there. You are very interested in human behavior. You want to know why somebody has done in something in a particular way, rather than just seeing, what the person has done. So a strong Ketu will give you more curiosity on the question why. So whenever somebody does this, rather than seeing what the person has done, you will always tend to ask, why has the person done this? Okay. And that's a brilliant way to know whose Ketu is strong or weak. Okay. Because you will see that Ketu, a person who has a very strong Ketu, wants to know the root cause, wants to go to the depth. Okay. So therefore, if you have a strong Ketu, you would want to know everything. You will want to know Vedic cosmology, astronomy. Yeah, I mean, everything basically. Okay, so congratulations. You want to know all the deeper hidden secrets of the universe. And number 10, maybe this is one of the most beautiful indications of a strong Ketu, is you reject false ego. You reject arrogance. You reject all bad things, okay? You realize quick allurements, like addictions, pornography, like multiple affairs, sexuality, masturbation, eating sweets, too many sweets, alcohol, drugs, and, like endless animalistic life pursuits. These things will not make you happy. You have gone beyond all this, you are detached, as I said, from things and people, and also from bad habits, okay? So because of that, what happens is your ego is very less, and you are not a very arrogant person, and you understand that ultimately everything happens at the right time, and God's hand is behind everything. Okay, so if you understand this, then you will realize that whatever is happening to you is because of your past life karma, and your job in this life is to clear everything and not take another birth. Okay, so you understand arrogance, ego, all this, these are very futile, okay? Not that you don't have healthy ego. In the first point I mentioned, you have healthy ego, which means you identify yourself with a spiritual community, with your guru, and as a disciple of your guru. But you reject all other designations, okay? And you don't become arrogant because somebody said something, okay, about your material possessions or positions, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video of 10 signs of an exalted Ketu. Please let me know down how many of these you have, and I would love to see where your Ketu is placed, and how is your 5th house, your 9th house. All right. Thank you so much. Please take care. For consultations, my website is always down below. God is there with you all the time. Just look to him and you'll find him. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel below if you are new. All right. Jai Siya Ram.